Welcome, everybody, to our JN Binge. This is a super special episode of JN Binge, and we're so excited that you took time out of your day to join us. You all know me. I'm Dan. And special announcement for everybody. We have a special guest on, turning time over to Ben Hodson.
Hey, glad to be here. Dan wanted me to just get started by talking a little bit for 1 minute on what we're trying to accomplish as a company. So Dan, could you just pull up a slide really quick there for me?
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. Thanks. Okay. So our mission as a company is to make you guys heroes. And if you can go to the next slide here, the way that we think about that, we really want you to be the hero in 4 different ways. One, the hero to your customers and to your company. So like, we want you to be able to win an award. We want you to be able to expand employees. We want you to be able to expand locations. We want you to run a really great business and hit your business goals. We want you to be a hero to your family too, and be able to have time back with your family and friends and run a successful business, but also have that life balance. That includes also helping you achieve your dreams, like the things that you guys want to do in life. That's what we think about every day. And finally, all of you, I know, want to really give back. We have so many customers that do so much good in the world right now. And we want to enable your business so that you can have enough profits to be able to give back to your communities. That's what we think about when we think about making a contractor a hero. Next slide. Now, the vision that we have for this is the how. Like, if that's our mission to make you heroes, how are we going to do it? And so we've built JobNimbus to make you more professional, predictable, and profitable. It's the 3 Ps we always talk about. Professionalism, you come across as the most professional contractor to your property owner. And you guys are able to collect digital payment, and you're able to do a digital estimate and use an iPad or a phone in the field and look pro. The predictability, you set a plan with the homeowner, you deliver to it, and you're very communicative along the way. And then the profitability, you run a really organized and efficient business. And what we've seen is when people use JobNimbus to the fullest, they grow massively. Our average customer grows just 43% in the first year of using JobNimbus in revenue. So it's a big, big lift for the business. Okay, so in all that context now, we think about, like, today we want to talk about some features that have just come out recently that we want to let you know about, and some things that are coming that fit under those categories. So the first one here is our mobile app, which is getting great reviews, super popular, so much better than our old mobile app. And so a few things that have come out here. We've got new features on the Android app version for financials. You can now do all the financial stuff out in the field on the app. That was a big request that had been lagging a little bit behind iOS. So we're really excited that's out, and you can download that today and use it. And I wanted Dan to just take a minute and kind of show you like how to create an estimate, for instance, on the mobile app. So we'll turn over to Dan to show you that really quick.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. So I absolutely love the mobile app. I cannot talk about that enough. And it's so easy to get anywhere in the mobile app. I can, on my home screen, I see my pending estimates right here. And clicking on that will pull up that estimate. It's so easy to get to. As you notice, I'm on iOS, but this is the same with an Android. If I click in a contact, so we'll go into Johnny here, and I click on the plus button, I can select estimate. And from here, I have the power to build my own estimate right here in the mobile app when I'm on the go. And I absolutely love that because I know I'm busy. I know you're busy. And so we have it right here. So once you talk to that homeowner, you can easily build out your estimate right there on their front door, add your items, total everything up, and then have them sign it right there. So I'm just going to discard changes here and go back to home.
Now, before you go back there, go back to that contact. The other thing that I think everybody needs to understand is we're organizing the mobile app kind of like we have the web with the tabs, but it's easier to see it on the mobile app in this sort of stacked layout. So click on financials there, and you'll see now that there's estimates, mature orders, and invoices all on the mobile app. That's for Android and iOS.
That's a good call out. Thanks.
Okay, the other big thing, let's stay right here for a second. The other big thing that we've added is a new notifications section. And so, Dan, can you go and tap down on the bell at the bottom there? And so this will show you all your notifications. And one of the things we're trying to do with this is make it even better than what's happening on the web. And by the way, we are working on a web version of the notifications that you'll be able to see them as well. And on here now, you have filters at the top. So we're using this new format where you can just go up to the top and tap on things to filter your notifications by what you want to see. So obviously app mentions is very popular, but you might say, well, what's jobs? Well, any job that you've been assigned would pop in here, and you could just see the ones that you're assigned, or contacts, or work orders, or tasks, or reminders, and that sort of thing. So it's really easy, or you can see it all in one view. And it will also show that for you a little notification red icon on your phone, so you know that there's something new to go look at inside of JobNimbus. Now, the cool thing about all this is that it makes it much easier to communicate. You can actually use app mentions to kind of chat on a job, which we see people doing a lot. And you have this great history of the conversation that you're having. And the other benefit is that I think you can save a lot of time, because one of the things we know about that's frustrating for a lot of customers right now is that they have a lot of email notifications coming in, and it gets a little overwhelming where they look at their inbox and there's so much stuff there that they almost can't keep track of anything anymore. So this switches the gears and says, hold on, now you have a filter. And like I said, we're working on something similar for the web coming down the road here. Okay, the other big thing here is that we added in a new improved version of the calendar. Now, this made it to the iOS Apple version already. It's coming soon to Android. Android's lagging about 3 or 4 weeks behind on new features right now, trying to catch up to be almost even. So when you're in the calendar now, the big thing here is that we've added an admin view. So now you can go and show all of your teammates and turn on whatever calendars you want. And the way you do that is you go down to the bottom there to calendar options. And that's where you can tap on what calendars you want to see and what types of items you want to see. We have a lot of customers who are owners or production managers, sales managers, whatever, who wanted to see everybody, not just their own calendar. The first version of the mobile app was always about I'm just a salesperson, or I'm a worker out in the field. What would I need to see? But we found that a lot of people are actually trying to run their business while they're in the field. So we added in these features to make it easier for sort of manager, owner level people to have a really cool experience in the app. This is going to give you way more productivity, a lot more transparency, and a much faster way to access what's going on in the company on any day in terms of scheduling. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about some of the new things that have come on the mobile app recently here. So, the web app. So the first thing on the web that we've added is down payments. And this has been a smashing success. Customers love this. One of our best sort of feedback features we've done in a long time. We're super excited about it. So this gives you the ability to collect down payments right within JobNimbus. Used to be that you'd have to create an invoice first to collect any payment. We sort of followed the QuickBooks method that you had to have an invoice to apply it to, sort of standard accounting practice. But a lot of our customers don't do that. They actually don't have an invoice yet. They want to collect a deposit at the estimate stage or whatever during the project. So we enabled this whole behavior. So Matt, I'll kind of turn it over to you to actually demo how to do a down payment.
Yeah, so the first thing to keep in mind is that down payments works with your global payments integration. So if you have that enabled, you can click on add payment right in the contacts file. And now pull up this menu right here where you can request a payment. And we can say, hey, Mick, we want $2,500 right now. That's what we agreed on. Click next, and I send them the email request for that $2,500. It'll give them a button that they click on, and they can add in they can pay via credit card, and then it records everything in JobNimbus. So it makes it super easy for you and your client.
So once you have collected that payment, then once they have actually paid, it'll show as a new line item on your payments tab there. It'll also allow you to, you can fire an automation off of that if you want to get a notification to say, hey, whenever I receive a payment, I want to be notified so I can go back into that account and do something with it. So this, it's important to note that this feature is specifically for global payments right now. WePay doesn't unfortunately support down payments. We're working with them on it. One of the problems with WePay and why we've been moving more towards global payments and probably some other payment providers, WePay got bought by Chase a few years ago, and they went from being a great partner to, I hate to say it, a not so great partner. Their technology is getting dated. They don't work through a lot of issues that we have. A lot of people get their money held. So we're not a big fan of the situation over there, and that's why we brought in GPI to help with this. There's a question on this right here. What about payment by check? You could always collect a payment by check. You just go to add payment and you'd set it to check, and you can make that now you can make that as part of the down payment as well. So yeah, even if you're not collecting real cash from the customer through a credit card or a bank transfer, you could still do that. And then the other question here, once payment has been made, does it automatically change the estimate to an invoice? Great question. You can set that up to happen. Well, let me think about that. We might have to pause on that one. I was thinking there might be a way to do an automation, but I don't want to say there is without going and looking. So that's the first place I'd start, though. We can follow up with that one later. Okay. The other thing that we added into the web app recently is a whole new financial payment calculator. So one of the things we've been seeing in a lot, especially customers that are doing restoration work and working with an insurance company, we've been seeing a lot more deductibles be just insane, like half of the cost of a roof, let's say. And a lot of customers, homeowners, property owners are saying, I can't even afford the deductible. And so we've seen a lot of movement now, especially in places like Florida, where people are starting to use financing, even on insurance jobs. Of course, financing is already a part of all of our solar customers' work. And I think over time will be adopted much more into all of home exteriors, roofing, siding, gutters, windows and doors, fencing, that sort of thing. So we're trying to get ahead of that for you guys. So now you could always, for the last few months, be able to apply for financing right within the app. We've now added the ability to show a payment calculator there to help the customer choose the right plan for them. So Dan, I'll let you kind of demo this a little bit here.
Yeah, so if you have a Sunlight Financial integrated with JobNimbus, you can click on Apply for Customer Financing. And it'll pull up a window where you can type in the requested loan amount. So we'll type in a $25,000 and make sure that everything is correct here with the category, the residence type, and the project type. And there are different project types that you can choose from. Clicking Next will let Sunlight calculate the different type of loan options that you have. So it might take a little bit, but hey, there it is. It's super quick. And here we have our best interest rate, our lowest payment, and then if I really want to, I could add a custom quote that's custom to our company and then show this to our client, and they can choose which one works best for them. And then once they choose, we can apply for that loan and they will get an acceptance or they'll get a decision on that within a minute. It's super, super fast.
Now, notice also here, you have the ability to download these quotes now as a PDF that you can leave with the customer to let them make a decision. And we started with just the two most common ones we hear, which is homeowners say, I want the best interest rate to maximize the payments. And then the other side is like, look, I have no money. I just need the lowest payment right now. But there are many, many other options. There's same as cash stuff. Sunlight actually is leading the way on some really cool stuff. And they're doing subprime lending now. So you can get a really high rate of approval through this. I will say this, guys, we're really worried about what looks like a pending recession and what that's going to do to homeowners' ability to pay for things. And so we're trying to get ahead of that for you to give you tools so that you guys can keep closing and keep growing your business even in tough times, because we may be in for some stormy weather for the next 18 to 24 months, it looks like. So this is one of those tools that could really help you boost your bottom line as you adopt offering financing. Okay. Question from Brittany. This is a good question. Will it show the options that we have active within our Sunlight account? Yes. Yes, it will. Okay, I want to switch over and talk about some future things. Those are just a few of the things that we just released recently. But let's talk about the roadmap, like where we're going. And there's two features in particular that we're coming out with very soon. Both are in beta right now and getting great feedback that I think are going to be game changers for you guys. I'm so excited about this. The first one is what we're calling smart estimates. And smart estimates is really, here's how we like to think about it. Whenever I talk to a business owner, I'm always like, hey, who's the best person at estimating in the company? And without fail, the owner always says they are, and they usually are. What we're trying to do is let's make it so that everybody that's estimating in your company is just as good as your best estimator. That's the concept behind smart estimates. That's also the concept of trying to make things much more streamlined and faster than doing an estimate right now. Most customers in JobNimbus are using templates. And that gets you some of the way because at least you're not typing in a bunch of new line items. You're just taking things off, but you still have to do all the work on the quantities and figure that out. With smart estimates, we now have that built in. So it doesn't matter whether you're working in squares and roofing or working in linear feet with fencing. We have this templatized so you can use any types of measurements you want. And you set up your template one time with what each item's quantity should be based on whatever let's say you're using squares for roofing. One square is 3 of this, 2.5 of this, and so forth. Then when you go to do your estimate, all you need to do is put in your number of squares, or better yet, coming soon, you'll be able to import like an eagle view or an aerial measurement in, and it will do it for you. You pick your waste factor, and then you're off to the races. You have an estimate created automatically. We think it cuts down the estimate time by 2/3 and how much it takes, and it also improves accuracy at the same time it's speeding you up. And you can be confident that when somebody's estimating on that, they're going to be very similar to how your best estimator does it, because it takes a lot of the confusion out and removes the data entry. So, Dan, do you want to just kind of show a quick little, do we have a demo set up for this?
We do.
Today? Okay.
We do. So I already set up a template. It's a very simple template to set up, but you can set up very complex templates. So I'm going to go in here and click on.
Now notice there's two buttons. You can still always add the estimate like you always did. So if you like that way, that's fine. There's now a create a smart estimate new button. So you click on that. And like I said, this is in beta right now. If you're interested, you can get on this and start playing with it.
And I'm going to use my roofing estimate that I set up. And all I need to do is say, hey, this roof is 1,400 square feet. And I know that it's 140 squares. And I need 2 counts. Now, like I said, this is very simple. You can set it up complex. I just showed that you can.
Yeah, this isn't really a good real world example of what you would do, but it gives you a concept like, oh, okay,
exactly.
I see. You can set up different measurements here. Great. And again, you could import those from an eagle view is the idea as well.
Exactly. And here, I love the option that I can have different shingle options for my clients. So they can come in here and we can choose the type of shingles that they want. And then I click next.
Now, you went kind of fast there, but there was also waste factor in there that was pre-calculated, but you could change that as well at that point. And then that's it. It's done. You now go to estimate and you have your whole estimate built out like before. Now, where we're going with this, I'll just kind of give you a little preview of what the longer term vision is. The first step was to make our estimating, like, I think, best of class. It's so easy and fast now to put together a quote for a customer that's reliable. The next step is, we've got this PDF, and it doesn't look terrible, but a lot of customers want something that looks much, much more involved. They want like a cover page. They want different things about their products that they're offering and that sort of thing. Maybe even a financing page. We have all of that stuff that we're planning as a future release on this. So we're sort of taking it one step at a time, making it really easy on the front end. Now we're going to start working on the back end. But already we have great partners like Sumo Quote and Leap to Digital that do that kind of thing. Anyways, if you're liking that, you'll be able to continue to use them as well. Okay, so a few questions came up along the way. When can we get a simple fix by integrating with Google Maps so we can add an address, it self-populates. That's not specifically smart estimates, but we've integrated Google Maps into JobNimbus. We're actually working on a new contact entry experience that'll auto-fill the address field for you from a Google lookup. So that is something we know about, we're working on. Question, is this similar to Sumo Quote? It's similar in the sense that Sumo Quote makes it easy to create your estimate, but then Sumo Quote has other features that this doesn't do, that type of thing. So there is some overlap there. Sumo Quote's a great partner. We love them. And this is not only for the app. This will work on the web app, and mobile is coming out with this soon as well. So it'll be in both places. We're really trying to make sure that every feature has both along the way. Let's see, importing EagleView, we talked about that. We're planning on that already. And won't create the budget automatically. You'll still have to click a button to say create budget, but it's one button click right now. And some people that are interested in beta. So that's awesome. Okay, we've been showing this customers, and we have our customer advisory panel, which if you're interested in being really hands-on with JobNimbus stuff, you can get on that. It's called our CAP or CAP. And our CAP group's seen this for about 3 or 4 months as we've been working on it in different iterations. And we've been getting tons of thumbs up. More than half of our customers use our estimating system right now and like it, but want things added. The other half are typically using either an Excel spreadsheet or some kind of Google sheet that they made to do estimating. So really, we were targeting a lot of those people to say, hey, why are you using this sheet, and how could we make this happen in JobNimbus? And without fail, we've got every single one to say, thumbs up, this will totally work. I could totally get rid of my spreadsheet and start doing this in JobNimbus. Now, why that's so good is if you do your estimate here, then it converts to a mature order. Then you got a budget. Then you've got an invoice, and it makes no clicking to get tons and tons of stuff done when you start with the right base. That's why we wanted it to be so good to start with. Okay, like I said, EagleView is coming soon. The other big feature that I want to talk about really quick here is what we're calling, let me just tell you a few things that we've learned going back here, Dan, to the next slide. There we go. Okay. So we know that in your business, communication is a big problem. A lot of people maybe don't think about it, but I actually think it's the biggest problem for a contractor is keeping all your stakeholders communicated, because you got all your inter-office communication, you got your homeowner, your property owner that you're working with, but you've also got other stakeholders. There's maybe insurance adjusters, mortgage companies, permit issues. There's a lot of people to talk to, even on a simple job. And there's a lot of different communication channels that happen. And when there's bad communication, you lose revenue because you have worse reviews, that sort of thing. So next slide, Dan. So one of the things we did a big survey of homeowner property owners, talking to them about why they give bad reviews. And unsurprisingly, the number one reason people give bad reviews by almost half is poor communication. Now, that's maybe obvious to all of you on the phone. You're like, oh, yeah, I get it. What was more interesting was the second follow-up question, which was, if the job had ran exactly the same, maybe deadlines were missed, maybe there was issues with materials, maybe the cost overruns happened, but you were communicated to the entire way, what review would you have given? And 80% of people said, I would have given a 5-star review. The problem wasn't that we missed the deadline. The problem was that I wasn't communicated well enough along the way. So that tells you something right there. If you want to get higher reviews, you must over communicate with your property owner about everything. It's about trust and knowing what's going on, because homeowners in our survey generally understand that it's hard to do a construction project and a lot of things can go wrong. All right, next slide. The other thing that's been happening in your companies is a lot of the communication that's happening to your customer right now is out of your purview. You do not know about it. And so this ends up biting people when they get sued or when there's customer service issues. then it's a he said, she said. The sales guy always said he didn't do it. The homeowner's saying this. A lot of homeowners lie. I'm sorry, it's true, because they're trying to get you to do things. A lot of employees lie. And this, we got to keep everybody honest. So you're only getting about 12% visibility on all the communication happening in your company right now. And that's a big problem. All right, next slide. The other thing, and this may not surprise anybody, but texting has surpassed email by a large margin. And right now, JobNimbus has only had capabilities for really email, unless you went and integrated with like Simply or something like that. So 90% of texts are open within 3 minutes. That's amazing compared to the email rates. Next slide. And so this was the last big aha moment in our survey. 87% of homeowners said they would primarily like to be contacted through SMS text. So the game is changing here, and we want to make sure that when we talk about you guys being the most professional contractor they're working with, they're going to expect text message. So that's what we're moving to. We'll have obviously email, and we're going to do some things to really improve our email, but go to the next slide here. Homeowners want to get lots of communications along the way, and homeowners text more than businesses email a lot. Homeowners text. All right, so what we wanted to announce today is what we're calling JobNimbus Engage, because we don't want this to just be a text messaging solution. We want this to be a place where you can really engage with your customer, because engagement equals high reviews. No matter what goes on in the project, if they're engaged, if they really feel like you were in the courtroom, they will give you a much higher review, and reviews are the main driver of leads right now for a lot of our customers. So Dan, if you want to switch gears here, let's show everybody a quick preview of Engage. So this is in beta right now, and you'll be able to access this very soon. But the first version of this now has a button at the bottom of the app. It'll also be an Engage button on the web app, and you click on this. It takes you to a view where you see all of your text messages going out to different homeowners. So if we go through here, at the top, you notice we got those filters. Every conversation that's happening inside the company is coming in here. If you're the sales rep, maybe, then you might take that conversation. So you assign it to yourself, and now you're talking with that person. Admins, managers can still see what's being said. If you fired that guy tomorrow, you know every single word that went back and forth between the two customers, okay? Between you and the customer. If he's gone for a week, somebody else could jump in and text that customer back and answer questions for them, and it's totally seamless to the homeowner. It makes it so easy for you to do this. And we're showing on the mobile version, but like I said, the exact same feature will exist on the web. So you can do it either place. If you're in the office on JobNimbus on the web all day, you can be texting with people and in this one-to-one, really engaging conversation. It will either use your own phone number, or you can have it assign a phone number out. We have both options for you. So if you have, 1-800-GET-A-FENCE or whatever, you could make that text in to a central number, and it's smart enough to know who to route each conversation to based on who's taking it. Or you might say, well, everybody has their own phone number. I just want text to come from this phone number. You can get a specific phone number set up under JobNimbus that just texts go in for that specific person. You can have as many as you want. So we want to demo this really quick here. So Dan, go back to the assign to me. Yep. And before this call, Dan had sent me a text, and I had responded back. So Dan, go ahead and send me a message. Now remember, he's in JobNimbus right now. He's not in his regular conversation view. And so he's going to send me this text. And I'll just show you how this is like super speedy right now. Also has really high delivery rate because we work with all the carriers to make sure that these texts get priority delivery for you guys. It's pretty cool what we've got set up here. So he could either tap this out or pause for a second, Dan, and click on that little star thing at the bottom left there. You can have text templates. So just like email templates, you can have text template. And it'll auto fill in the customer's name or job price, whatever is templatized that we have will be in here as well. You can have as many as templates as you want. So you can quick pick something to text somebody back. It saves so much time. Now, I'll cancel out of this for a second. The other thing that you can do is you can assign this to yourself or to somebody else. It supports emojis right now. It does support some MMS, but we're working on other things for that. So we want to send like an actual PDF. That's coming soon. And then, yeah, go ahead and send this message here. Okay, so it's sent. I just received it on my phone here. You can see kind of the top message that just came in. And then I can just text them back. Sounds good. And that'll just get delivered back to them in the next couple seconds here. So here's the cool thing about this. The first version is just one-to-one texting, and you can keep it all tracked inside of JobNimbus. The next version we're working on, which will come out very soon, will have automations in it as well. So you can have an automation kickoff whenever somebody says this certain thing in text, automatically text them back this. Or whenever you schedule a job, then automatically send this text back to them with this message. It'll go into the notification center that we built. So now you can probably see some of the method to our madness. Why did we build notifications? So that we had a great place to show these text messages as well, in addition to all the other notifications that you get. And that's all on phone. Now, the big benefit, if you're an office manager sitting on the line right now, you're going, oh, so you mean every single thing my sales guy says, I can actually see it in real time? And if the customer calls back and says, well, they told me they were going to give me a 25% discount, you can go and look at every conversation and say, hold on, that wasn't an email or in text. That never happened. He actually said this, and you have a real, you can show them a screenshot. Just super, super cool how this works. Now, where we're going with this longer term, why we called it Engage instead of JobNimbus texting, is because we want to bring in all of your emails into here as well. And we want to bring in other cool things, like we're working on VoIP and Facebook Messenger and other things, so that you have an end-to-end communications platform to be the best communicative contractor in the industry. And we're trying to do stuff that's super innovative and nobody's ever seen in this market before. Let's see, there's been some questions here. Let's see, how long until this is out to everyone? Right now, targeting August for a full launch, but you could get on the beta much sooner if you're interested. Pricing plan for text. We looked at a bunch of different pricing out there. Frankly, there's a lot of stuff that's really expensive for what we're doing here. We don't think that's right. And then, so we try to price on the lowest end of the market. We're sort of like in the middle of the lowest quadrant of the 3-quadrant text pricing. So we'll announce pricing soon. Right now on the beta, you won't have to pay anything yet. So let's see, limit visibility. Yes. So you can assign conversations and other people can't get access to those conversations. We're going to add in more limits long term, but we do have some limits out of the gate right now to be able to control on this. And if a phone number is assigned to a contact, will it show who that contact or just the number when texting? It'll show the contact. So we didn't set this up right beforehand, but he's actually texting me on my own phone number here. And so it should say Ben. Go back out of this screen, Dan. And you can see other people actually showing the name. So that's normally what you'll see is the customer name. Now, if you tap on, let's say Barry White there. Okay, if you go up to the I at the top there, that's actually Barry White's contact info. You can call him, turn-by-turn directions, email him right there. And if you tapped on that Barry White contact, it would take you into the contact screen. Same experience we'll have on the web as well. Okay, and let's see. People said they're already on the beta. That's awesome. Yep, you'll be able to see the homeowner replies. And awesome. Okay, so yeah, I think we covered all that stuff. So the big thing here is this will be something that will be a top level navigation item. So you'll see engage at a button at the bottom because we think communication is so important. It's going to be a hub for your whole company. And then on the other side of the coin, if you're on the web, right next to the new boards button at the top, there'll be an engage button. And you'll go in there and you'll have your whole communication center. You can assign out conversations to different people and make a big difference there. We're really excited about this. Okay, let's see. Dan, how do we want to end this off here? Because we're way over time for what we had, I think, scheduled because we started so late.
We are. Thank you, everyone, for sending in your Q&A. If there haven't been questions that have been answered, I will get them to our support team and we'll get them answered for you. See here. Actually, there is one question that came in that I would really love us to touch on, because I think that'll be a huge insight to everyone. And that is, how do you choose what features to add into JobNimbus and which ones you don't?
Yeah, it's really hard. I mean, especially as a platform, because every part of the system has lots of things that people want in it. And you're trying, like a company like Sumo Quote, for instance, just has to be good at just doing proposals. That's what their focus is. We've got to be good at 30 things. So it's always like a balancing act. And even though we raised a ton of money at the end of 2020, we raised 53 million, it's still like there's never enough money to spend on developers. We have massively grown our dev team. It's actually 10 times bigger than it was in 2020 right now. We have a huge team over here in Utah, and we are cranking. And I hope you guys have noticed that we are releasing new stuff every single month. It used to be sometimes you'd wait 6 months for something new to come out from JobNimbus a few years ago. Now we're doing something, and it's not just a little bug fix or something. We're talking about significant features. Like just in the next 2 months, you're going to have engaged texting and you're going to have smart estimates. These are massively requested things that we're coming out with quickly. So we're trying to move on that. How do you prioritize? We actually get in a room and we have a quadrant graph that we use of like, how much customer value is this? How hard is it to do? All these different things. And we take our whole list of all the things that are requested on user voice. We review those every single month. And people are reviewing those daily, frankly, for new requests. We look at number of votes on those things. We also look at our roadmap of what things we think. Like, for instance, we're not getting a lot of votes on certain things that we're still working on because we're saying, oh my gosh, if the economy collapses, this can be a big problem for our customer. So we have to have this feature in place, even though they're not thinking of it yet. So we pull all that together and then we rank it with all the resources that we have, and we make hard decisions and we say, okay, these are the ones we're going to do for the next X number of months. We do this every quarter, and then we go back and review again. We take a lot of feedback from our crew event where we have one-on-one interactions with customers. And if you haven't been to that, highly recommend coming. And it's really hard to be pleased for everybody, but we're always trying to do the features that make the biggest impact for you guys. Again, does it make you more of a hero? Does it make you run a business and grow more? Then that's the things that we're going to be focused on.
Okay, thank you. To finish off, I would like to let everyone know that we are here for you. We want to make sure that you level up. So we are super grateful that you joined us for this episode of JN Binge. Keep a lookout for more webinars. They will be coming down the line. If you are in our web app and you want resources, check out those buttons in the bottom corners. The one with the question mark is our resource center. It has so many resources and notifications for you to learn more about JobNimbus and how to use it. If you want to get onto our YouTube channel at JobNimbus, our JobNimbus channel, go check out our previous webinars. They are bingeable and they will teach you every aspect of how to use JobNimbus. If you want to read about any of the features that we talked about, the ones that have already come out, go to our support center at support.jobnimbus.com. And if you need to speak with one of our support reps, please call in. Our support reps are there to help you, and they really want to see you level up. And there's our number, and there's our email. We thank everyone for joining us today. And Ben, thank you so much. You are
glad to be here. Thanks for everybody's participation.
Yeah, we really appreciate all your participation. And I really appreciate you giving us the insight of what's coming down the road and what we've worked on. So
when will everybody be able to rewatch this if they want to watch it, Dan? How soon till it's out?
So I'm going, as soon as I'm done here, I will be, I'll download the video, I'll edit it, just some quick edits, and then I'll put it up on YouTube. So it should be this afternoon. So if you have other people on your team that really want to see what we've worked on, what's coming down the road, or if you have a friend in another company that you're friendly with and you're like, hey, you got to check out JobNimbus. You got to come over to JobNimbus. Have them look at this video so they know exactly what we're working on.
Awesome. Okay, thanks everybody.
We'll see you next time. Bye.